Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here, playing some more Pathfinder Adventures. In this video, we're actually going to start our 6-player legendary alternate character party, and we're going to do it on legendary difficulty, starting with Brigandoom. Now, if you want to know how I made the party, check out the previous video where I go through in probably overly blistering detail how I chose the characters and how I put together their decks. Now, on legendary difficulty here in Brigandoom, there's no difference from what it was in heroic difficulty, other than that there are now 2 wildcard powers rather than 1, and there's adjacent location movement, which will spice things up quite a bit. At the beginning of every scenario, we're going to have to figure out how we're going to plan out the strategy for that scenario to account for the fact that not all the locations are adjacent to each other. Now, just setting some ground rules for myself here. The first time I play a scenario, I'm going to take whatever wildcard powers come, even if it just seems like it's going to be totally impossible for me to win. However, after I failed once, I reserve the right to re-roll scenarios until I get a complementary combination of wildcard powers. Does that sound good? Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and start in with Brigandoom. Oh, I guess I should review what the heroic scenario rules are, because it's been a while since I've put up my heroic playthrough. So, on regular Brigandoom, it's actually a positive thing. When something makes you recharge a card, you draw the same number of cards you recharged. And that is kept in the heroic and legendary versions, except that now whenever you acquire an ally, you have to discard a card. That is on top of any wild card powers that may impose the same penalty upon you. So it just makes things a little bit harder. I don't know why the start button's not working. Okay, this is awkward. What's happening here? Legendary difficulty. Okay. There we go. I had to close out of the difficulty selector and then click the arrow key. I don't know how I never came across that issue before, or if that's a bug or a feature, but whatever. Here we are. This is my first time doing 6 players on legendary difficulty. It's also my first time doing legendary difficulty on camera. Personally, I've only played 2-player legendary difficulty, so I could very well be totally screwed, because starting out from fresh on legendary is quite challenging. Not only are these movement paths quite challenging, but these wildcard powers can fuck things up. Oh boy, that is a tough one. Wow, we did not get any breaks. So there's an additional barrier in each location, and it's harder. Okay, you know what? I misread this. So acquiring boons is harder by 2. That can definitely be annoying. In fact, it's pretty damn annoying. I'm going to say that. But it's not as bad as Banes being harder by 2, or everything being harder by 1, or your hand size being smaller, or there being fewer blessings, or there being an extra monster in each location. So, like, it's annoying, but it's, I don't think, as bad as it could possibly have gotten. Our villain here is pretty straightforward. It's not that hard, especially because I just finished my heroic playthrough. It's like, oh, combat 10, wow. And the thing is not that big of a deal, especially because you get 1 card back from your deck. Then we got our bandits here, which are pretty easy, but they just make you recharge a card. So, not too bad here. Mostly I'm just fighting the map. If I lose, it's going to be because I run out of time, and I have a hard time with this location movement. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is try to make some easy assignments first, and then see what I can do for the harder ones. Obviously, EZREN is going to go to the Academy because the Academy has tons of spells, and EZREN can pick them up and get extra explorers. Unfortunately, all boons are harder to pick up by 2, so EZREN is going to be less likely than usual to get those spells, which sucks. But he does have some sages, and he does have a codex, and that can help him pick those spells up. Next up, I think another easy one is Harsk going into the woods. He could go into the woods, or Amiri can go into the woods. They both have the survival ability, but what Harsk can do is he can actually scout, at the end of his turn to see what's coming up, and if it's a tough monster, he can shoot all of his hand as helping cards for other people's combat checks before his turn comes around, and then with an empty hand, fight the monster. He can let the monster kill him, take no damage because he's, recharged away all of his cards, and then the monster will disappear thanks to this Woods scenario ability that undefeated monsters other than villains or henchmen are banished. The Woods also has 2 barriers in it, now 3 because of the wildcard power, and it's nice to be able to see those coming because some of them are definitely a pain. Next up we've got Amiri. So, oh god. Oh right, it doesn't show you anything until you click on it, which is kind of weird. So Amiri wants to go somewhere where there is fighting. I'm going to go ahead and put her at the waterfront. So the thing about the waterfront is that you do subtract 1 from each die rolled when using a weapon, but Amiri is better than anybody else at fighting with her fists. I don't particularly want to put Sayoni, the sorceress, there because you have to defeat a monster to close it. So you have to use a spell to kill the henchman there, and then use another spell to defeat the bandit henchman. So she's likely going to end up having to discard cards to use her ability on. I'd rather just Amiri take the -1 penalty and call it a day. Sione I'm going to send to the prison because that has a Charisma or Diplomacy 6 check, and she's pretty adept at closing that. Sela can go to the garrison and do some fighting there. Just got to remember not to double up on the garrison because of this thing, which is when you fight a monster other than a villain or henchman. Everybody there has to fight a copy of that. I always forget that. And then Kira, I guess, well, this cave is kind of a problem, isn't it? Because she's pretty good with the wisdom survival thing, but she then would have to go here, and she actually could get stuck because all these places are kind of next to each other. Oh man, this is actually quite awkward. She might end up having to lose a turn coming. She might losing more than one turn coming out and then coming out again unless she can close it really soon. I don't like how that looks. Yeah, that's a tough little thing to deal with. You could have Amiri go there, I suppose, because she is decent at survival as well. She has a D6 plus 3 instead of Kira's just regular old D10. That's interesting. Okay, well, I guess in that case, let me see. I don't want to put Kira on the farmhouse, but the farmhouse is a pretty good place for fighting. So I guess I'll put Amiri there. Wait, that doesn't help anything. What am I doing? Okay, yeah, I guess this is what I'm gonna have to do, and Kira's gonna lose some turns then. She's gonna have to crawl out of here to get to new places. That's risky. It's definitely risky, but I mean, I guess I could just ignore this cave and have somebody get there later to temp close it. No, let's get rid of it and then have everybody kind of come in towards the middle. Well, we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to have Kira go first because she is sort of out of the way. I'll have EZREN go next because I want him to get through the academy as soon as possible. Sione's also in a pretty friendly location. Harsk, I don't mind going last. Let's try it like this. Wait, what am I doing? I want Sela to go early to get her scouting to happen. I think I care about that more than Sione closing off the diplomacy location. All this is honestly pretty minor, but let's just give it a shot. Alright, let's skip the preview of Sandpoint and see how terribly we fail. Remember, there's an extra barrier in each location, so on average that means I'm going to fight 4 more barriers. That's the expected result. Obviously, it could be more or less depending on how lucky or unlucky I am. Because for each location, there is... Oh, thanks. Because for each location, there is a 50% chance that the barrier is above the henchman and a 50% chance that the barrier is below the henchman. So, there's a 50% chance for any location that you have to actually encounter that extra barrier. There it is! Ambush. So, if I let this go and fail it, then I will fight another monster, and there's a 1 in 3 chance that it will be the henchman. If I Thieves' Tool it, then what that does is that it gives me an extra Explore. But the extra Explorer is not as likely to find the henchman or villain in this location as just failing it would. So I'm gonna let fate decide what happens. There's a 20% chance I succeed at it. Okay, well I actually succeeded, so that's fine. But I honestly wouldn't have minded fighting a monster even with that penalty because at this point in the game, monsters are pretty easy. Her melee prowess is pretty decent, D8 plus 3. And we've got blessings, obviously, right now. But let's go ahead and explore for now. Magic leather armor. Well, it's not worth spending any resources on. That's a definite fact. So I'll just let it go. And at this point, I have to decide what I want to do. I can either spend a blessing to explore, or I can recharge this armor. Well, I'm going to actually spend this goblin golem. So if I find a monster, or a... actually, even a barrier. Wow, this even defeats barriers. Non-villain, non-henchman. This is pretty damn sweet. So I hope to find the other barrier here, or one of the monsters. Well, I got one of the best range weapons in the game, but it's fine. I wasn't gonna get it anyway. I was definitely not gonna get that card because she doesn't have a good range skill. So do I want to spend a blessing to explore again? I think I do. It's a little bit tricky because I was just playing on heroic difficulty, like in the end of the adventure. So now like going back to basics is kind of tricky. But if I recall right, in a 6-player game, you definitely want to explore multiple times because you really want to get through these places quickly. Okay, we're a little bit lucky here to be fighting an undead. Let's go ahead and reveal my mace. I got a 96% chance just revealing the mace, which I'm pretty happy about. So let's roll. Let's not fuck it up too bad. Good. And kill a monster. Well, we made it through 4 of the 11 cards in one go. I'd say that's pretty decent. I'll keep hold of this blessing and just pass the turn. All right, here we are with EZREN. Let's go ahead and start our explorations. Caltrops. This is actually really nice. Unfortunately, I'm not going to pick it up unless I use my Troubadour, but I'd rather use the Troubadour to explore again. Yeah, I'm not going to pick it up, but it's nice. It's not a spell, so if your first exploration is not a spell, you explore again, so I get a free extra explore. And it's the villain! Shit! On a stick! That's annoying. I don't have evasion, so I'm going to have to defeat him. And it's nice that I get to close the location, but that is the worst location to close because there's 5 spells in there. So this is like 5 opportunities of finding an augury or some other good spell, like Acid Arrow, just even to upgrade my combat spells a little bit, are lost because I have to fight the villain right now. Oh man, I had Detect Magic. Oh, I could have scouted him. Is it mathematically correct to do Detect Magic before you do your extra explore? No, because I couldn't choose, right. It was an immediate explore. Either I explored then or not at all. Alright, I'm not going to worry too much about closing locations. I don't mind it if Jubrail ends up in a place that has a henchman in it, because then there's a 50% chance that I find the henchman first, kill the henchman, and close the location, and the villain ends up being left there alone. So I'm going to go ahead and just let fate decide all these different things. Look at that sweet, sweet D8 plus 3 survival action. Do I want to fight a monster with a Miri? I don't know what her hand is, but I know she's got a weapon. She has a... oh, fuck. Ah, I forgot to... God damn it, I forgot to edit her deck. No, or I forgot to edit her weapons. She has this fucking short sword. Oh, Jesus. Well, I'm not gonna do this. No, I'm not gonna do it. I don't care about that. Sione at least is in the correct place. Oh, look at this D10 plus 1 instead of a D12 plus 2. Oh, the pain. Well, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm rolling pretty good, but I don't think that was worth spending resources on. Does she want to fight a henchman, bandit henchman? Yeah, I think she does. I can recharge away this chainmail, get a new card, and she shouldn't have too hard of a time killing this thing. All right, I guess she is. I guess we'll have to peel a card off the deck. Lost a longsword. Ooh, I love these dice. They're sweet looking. Jesus, that was close. Way too close. Okay. And Kira, sure, we'll just take a roll. There we go. She failed that one. That's fine. And then that's that. So the villain's going to be in one of 4 different places. I got to recharge a couple of cards. Well, I don't need my Sage anymore, and I don't need my Troubadour anymore. Draw a couple of replacements. Let's pop a Force Missile on this bitch. Oh, wait a minute. I totally forgot. Oh, man. I had Sela peel a card off the top when I could be having Harsk shoot arrows. I just haven't played this in a while. I forgot how the goddamn game works. Alright, so this is... oh, I love these. That it works correctly now when somebody helps you. You see the correct dice. Awesome. Well, anyway, 91% chance of success. Is that good enough? It's actually not really good enough. I'm going to have Harsk discard for an extra D4. Okay, it looks like I was fine, but I don't mind that I... oh, I gotta remember this. Let me do this, please. Okay, I guess it's going to show me this little animation. So 1 of 4 different places where you can be. 2 that are presently occupied, 2 that are not. And I missed out on all these damn spells, which is a freaking shame. Right, let's go ahead and do this. Codex. Ah, it's not a magic item, but if it was magic, I would have put it in my hand. And I can shuffle a spell from the discard. Okay, cool. And now I gotta think about this. So, I could stride, but honestly, I just want to go to the waterfront, I guess. He's got a Force Missile. EZREN really needs 2 combat spells to feel comfortable exploring the waterfront, but if he does have to beat something up with his fist, I guess he could use strength. Alright, so I'm not going to stride. We'll save the stride for someone else, and I'll just end the turn. Thieves' Tools. Not another spell, unfortunately. Well, this is Sela, so let's go ahead and have her scout the garrison. The wooden shield is garbage, so this is like a free extra explore. It's perfect. Oh, man, I cannot believe I forgot to fix Amiri's weapons. That short sword is a real hindrance, being a D6 instead of a D8. I am definitely going to explore again. Bunyip! 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 This first thing doesn't really matter. I mean, it does make everything harder by 1, which is annoying. But, I I don't care too much about it. Let's remember to use Harsk. I don't know. Harsk hasn't had a chance to go yet. That was a loose roll. Why did I roll that? I shouldn't have rolled that. But okay, anyway, I got lucky there. Do I explore again? Yeah, I'm going to explore again. Let's get a little bit aggressive here. All right. So let's reveal that. Harsk is sort of starting to run out of cards. Let's hang tight with the Harsk, and we'll just peel a card off of her deck. Lost the Thieves' Tools. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. What am I doing? I really should have been... I should have shot an arrow with Harsk. So now the wooden shield that I scouted to the bottom got shuffled back in, which is obviously very irritating. Yeah, but that was a loose roll. I should have absolutely had Harsk shoot an arrow or had her discard one of her weapons. Alright, do I care about recharging Cure? I think I actually do care, so I'm going to go ahead and lose the Thieves' Tools again. And, why can't I... Oh, right! Oh my god, I shouldn't be using Sages for her, because this is now under her Charisma. Right, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, so Sages don't work to recharge her spells. Whoops. Okay, anyway, Sione's up at the prison here. 3 barriers here. She does have Thieves' Tools. Okay, I guess we're good to go. Let's do this. There's the Thieves' Tool. Well, let's see. Dexterity, Acrobatics, Wisdom, yeah, I guess I could do this raw, but let's just take a chance and pop the Thieves' Tools right now to get that extra Explore. Ooh. Well, that's a good one. I definitely want this one. So let's recharge this. Now I have a 75% chance. I'm willing to spend a Blessing to get spells. All right, let's do it. I will spend a Blessing to get these extra spells. Because right now we haven't gotten any spells yet, and we missed out on the Academy, so I want a chance to pick up Augury. Oh, 1, of course. Well, maybe it'll be Augury. Acid Arrow. It's fine. It is an upgrade over the starting cards, so I do not mind. This does not help me very much, so I'm going to go ahead and discard it to Explore. Oh my god, so many locked passages. This would be nice to beat. Unfortunately, I'd have to spend Blessings, and right now the current Blessing is not Dexterity. She doesn't have a Troubadour, so it's probably not worth it. I'll just take my 30% chance and let that get shuffled back in. Alright, now we're back at the farmhouse. Okay, this would be nice to make because I don't want to take 2d4 combat damage. And if I'm going to lose these Blessings anyway, I might as well throw them out. So 3d6 to hit an 8. We'll let the gods decide how that goes. Oh, wow. Just barely. So that was really nice. I keep my cards and I get an extra Explore. Thieves' Tools would be actually kind of nice to pick up. But I don't think I can afford to spend Blessings on it. Can I? Why is there even a Thieves' Tools in the box? That means I didn't give somebody Thieves' Tools. Shit. Alright, I'll just do it. 72% chance to grab them. So there's a 50-50 chance that my Blessing made the difference there. We end the turn. I don't think I need to move. There's Adair. Harsk is up. This will be the last time that he goes in blind. 76% chance is a little on the weak side. Can anybody help with something other than a Blessing? I'm pretty sure at this point nobody does. Now, if I get hit by this guy, he's still going to be defeated because that's what happens with undefeated monsters. But if I beat him, I'm going to really wish I had kept on to the Blessing. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just take the 76% chance roll because I don't want to lose that Blessing. Okay, this is nice. So now I can scout. And we have a Pit Trap. Okay, what's going on with this Pit Trap? Yeah, it's actually a good one for him because he's good at perception. So yeah, we'll just have him go into it. And I got to make sure I keep a Blessing or use the Thieves' Tools. Perfect. All right, so Kira's still hanging out here, and there's the villain. Again, that's kind of annoying because I do get to close the location, but I would have rather had him scouted there than what just happened. Let's take a look at Amiri. Does she pick up a real weapon? Oh god, she has 2 short swords? Motherfuck me. Well, we'll close the farmhouse this time. Let's go ahead and discard one of these short swords. That's actually a stupid way to do it because I'm terrible at this game. We're going to go ahead and reveal it, and then we're going to rage against the machine and bury it for a d10. Get this farmhouse to close off. Alright, Harsk, we'll just let fate decide. Although it does kind of suck if I fail this. I am okay with having that scouted barrier go away in exchange for keeping a hold of my blessings. This place, yeah, we can let it get shuffled. And it will. The good news in all this is that at least we're, like, permanently closing some locations because we keep bopping up against the villain. It would just be better if we could have scouted the villain instead of having him keep appearing. Okay, I'm going to have Harsk help out here because I've got double crossbows. 79%. Yeah, let's have her help herself. All right, 95% is pretty good percent. And now Kira gets to test out her new melee skills. So I am not going to recharge the Thieves' Tools because there are a lot of barriers floating around. We're going to go ahead and recharge a Blessing and recharge an Armor, which is a bit risky, but I do get cards back. Now we have Inflict, but I'm actually better at melee, so we're going to go ahead and do this. We'll have Harsk shoot a Blessing. 92%. I can't afford to fail, so I will go ahead and pop a Blessing to make sure that I take this guy down. So there's a few different places he can be now. He's down to one of 3 places, one of which is occupied. And we close this place off. Well, at least the good news is that Kira can get out of here now and get back to work. Now, let me actually take a look at the map. So Kira is here. Where does she want to be? She doesn't really want to do this because she's not that good at charisma or diplomacy. She doesn't really want to do that either, although she could. I just don't want her to be doubled up there. I don't mind doubling up at the farmhouse with Sela and Amiri. Interesting. So what I could do is I could actually have Kira be stridden once here and then move here on her turn, or I can actually stride her twice, and then she can from there go off. Nah, she's not really good at anything. Yeah, I'll just stride her the one time. So I'm going to have EZREN cast stride. Oh, I messed up. He had strength. I could have used strength to help Kira defeat the villain instead of having her spend a blessing. That was actually a pretty big mistake. That was... Wait, can I actually move her anywhere I want to? Wait, does stride really work like that? To move another character? I assumed that would follow the movement rules. Well, let's see what happens. What if can I click on this? Does she actually stride over? No. What about this? Ah, that does work. Okay, okay. So it does work. It's just weirdly that the interface allows you to... Ah, damn, Troubadour. Don't get an extra card. It's just weird the interface allows you to click on the locations you can't actually use for some reason. Okay, so that's that. Whose turn is it? Oh, it's EZREN's turn. Wait. Wait a minute. Why is EZREN at the academy? Shouldn't he be allowed to move? Can't he cast stride? It's during your turn. It doesn't, like, end your turn, does it? I lost a turn. I lost a turn for no reason. So it was EZREN's turn, and he cast a spell that can be cast anytime during your turn, and then that made his turn end. Okay, well, that's bullshit. Ooh, that's a good basic card. Obviously, it doesn't really hold up over time, so it kind of sucks that got put there, but whatever. Don't really care about this armor, obviously, and I am going to explore again with a blessing. Explosive. Oh, dear, that's bad. Well, that sucks. I guess I'm gonna lose these cards anyway, so I might as well try. Oh, it even matches the current blessing. Nice. Okay, well, yeah, that's fine. So that actually worked out nicely. At least it was gonna be banished, even on failure, but it's nice that I got to avoid losing my longsword. Oh, I'm so pissed that EZREN lost a turn for no reason. That is a pretty bad bug with Stride, I gotta say. Alright, so we got a skeleton here. It's a pretty easy monster. It's only hard if you use a piercing or slashing weapon. When you don't, it's very easy to defeat. Look, I have a 97% chance just casting a basic spell. So we'll just let that go. Automatically recharge Mr. Force Missile. And I'm going to get rid of Stride. I don't think I'm going to need this anytime soon. So let's go ahead and Stride Kira. Wait, I don't want to Stride her yet, though, because if I do... Oh, no, she's going to go before... Sione. Okay, yeah. This is fine. Or Sela. Yeah, so I'm going to just move her over. I'm really just doing this to get rid of the stride from Sione's hand. Yeah, notice now. Oh, it's letting me actually play a blessing to explore again. I don't know why. Oh, you know what it is? I cast it before I moved. Now, by the rules, you should be able to cast a spell during any time, even before moving. But it seems like after that, it like skipped over the move phase, and that's why EZREN wasn't able to move out of the closed location. Interesting. All right, well, hopefully I can take a one-turn handicap and still win here. What is Adair? Ah, yes. It's this one, which is actually not even that good, so I don't know why I have it, but whatever. There it is. Archer. Definitely not going to happen, so sorry, Archer. Kind of unfortunate, but you are lost to the sands of time. Should I just... This guy isn't that good. I'm just going to explore the location. Amulet of Life. Not a bad card. Definitely not going to happen, though, so let it go. Oh, I got 100 gold. Yes! Do I want to move? I really don't, so we'll let that be. Harsk is up. This is that pit trap. Okay. So let's explore this and think about what I want to do. I could play a blessing and have a pretty good shot of just defeating it, and then I save the thieves' tools for the 2 other barriers that are in here. But a good option now is better than the best option later. I'm going to use the thieves' tools. Ah, crap. I keep pressing the recharge button. No one can recharge these except for Mariziel, realistically. So we're going to defeat this now, get a free extra explore. Alright, bandit. That's great. I'm very happy to see this. So now we can do the crossbow. 90%, eh? I gotta think carefully about this, because on the one hand, I want to make sure I kill this bandit. On the other hand, I do need to also close the location. But yeah, we can play a blessing. Make sure that we get this bandit. And now to close it, what happens here? What are my odds? Oh, they're really good with just a blessing. Perfect. So we're gonna roll them bones and close off the woods. Nice there. That D8 plus 3 instead of the D6 plus 2 giving me the extra little touch. Okay. So, now, what is up here? Oh, right, the bastard sword's on the bottom. Kira needs to get a frickin' move on, because you never want to double up at the garrison. Never, ever do it. All right, I'm going to go to the farmhouse with her. And just, I guess, explore. Cultist. Ooh, this is easy enough. I think this is a good time to use Inflict. 75% success, huh? Not super jazzed about it. Oh yeah, but I got Harsk in the party. Yeah! I don't need this survival anymore because the woods have already been closed. That was probably a little bit of a loose roll with a 1 in 10 chance of failing, but it's all good. Even managed to recharge this thing. Nice. Let's take a quick stock of the situation. So we've closed 3 locations, 2 of which were closed by finding and killing the villain, which is very improbable. I am down to half time, so I guess if you need to have 4 locations closed at halftime to feel like you're on time, I'm a little bit behind here. The question is, can I really play a blessing and then, like, kill the henchman and another random monster as Kira? I guess so. So I'm going to go ahead and get a move on here. Plus, she's got cure spells, so I've got a decent chance. Unfortunately, this is where I failed to check by 1 to pick up that blessing because of the wildcard power is making boons harder to pick up by 2. Ooh, super annoying. Okay, luckily though, I'm gonna do this now before I forget, she did pick up a cure and can heal herself. I'm gonna heal herself because, ooh, nice, I healed all 5 of her cards because those are mostly blessings. So that's more explorations for the team. All right, I'm not gonna spend a blessing to recharge cure. We'll just let the gods decide what happens. And the gods have decided that their faithful servant can continue trucking. I gotta remember that EZREN has strength. My God, I need to remember that. Again, I could have helped Kira there on the combat check. Alright, there's 13 fucking cards here because of all the villain killing, unfortunately. I guess I'm going to cast Detect Magic, even though it's very unlikely to actually turn anything up. Giant Gecko, huh? Well, I suppose I might as well fight it. Can I get another spell? Caltrops. Blah! Can't find a spell to save my life. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pop the Troubadour and knock out this Gecko. 89%. Good enough? Let's see, there's a bunch of characters still to go. We'll recharge a guard. It's fine. Make sure we put this Gecko away. I don't think it made a difference. In fact, I'm sure it didn't. Oh, why am I clicking that? I don't want to click that. I know it's not a thing I can pick up. Okay, good. It ignored my command. I want to do a Sage. Well, I don't have any combat spells, so the answer is no. Let's go ahead and hopefully find a combat spell. Okay, Force Missile. There we go. That's nice. All right, Seela's up. There's that wooden shield from before. Back to the bottom. All right, is she alone in this location? Good, she is, because Kira left. All right, so we're safe to keep going. There's the zombie that I think I failed to defeat. Let's go ahead and... Whoa, hang on a minute. She's looking a little peaked there. Does she still have a cure spell? She does. I might actually throw the cure spell away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to discard the longsword then, because I've got 2 of them. And Harsk... Oh, God. Yeah, I'm going to recharge. We don't need this glibness potion in this scenario. Yeah, I just want to make sure I kill the zombie this time, because there's 2 scouted cards, but I don't want to throw away my cure. Do I want a blessing to explore again? There's 2 weapons here. Well, no. Hang on a minute. There's a weapon and an armor. Okay, so there's 1 weapon, 1 ally, 1 mystery card, and then 1 henchman, or 1 monster that I can find here. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, quarterstaff. That's actually fine. I have a decent chance of picking it up. I don't. I would have liked to, but that's fine. And what I'm really hoping is to pick up my cure spell, which was not on the top. Alright. That's unfortunate, because she's looking a little peaked. This is good, though. I don't want the codex, I think. Alright, so let's go ahead and do Acid Arrow, because this is for real. 97% chance. I need a 4 on 2d10s. Seems good. Ooh, if that had been inverted, I would have almost failed. Alright, so now we gotta close this location. Conveniently, I have a Troubadour. Unfortunately, I'm rolling a d10 plus 1 instead of a d12 plus 2. So I really do need to play another Blessing here to make sure that this place closes off. Otherwise, I think that would just be asking for trouble. Okay, so now we've closed off 4 locations. There's a little bit less than half the time to go. This is still in the early stages where time is basically your biggest threat. I do get an ally back, which is kind of nice. And my hand's fine, so everything's good. Except that I do still need to find the villain. One problem is, someone's gonna go here. Ah, Harsk. He has decent dexterity, d10. He doesn't have the stealth skill, no one does in my party, but he can go here, he can close it with a blessing or 2. So yeah, he can be here ready to temp close it. The main problem, of course, is if the villain's here. Then it would be kind of hard to blow through all these cards to find him. But that's just always the problem in the early scenarios. Before your character's decks are any good, the villain could always end up in some bad place. That's why it's good if you can to scout the villain. On the other hand, if the villain's here, there is a henchman here as well, and I have a chance of finding the henchman. So yeah, Harsk can go here, that's fine. Amiri, yeah, Amiri's fine where she is, I think. I don't want to double up at the place where Seela is. So yeah, we'll just explore this. There's the bandit, perfect. I don't want this standard bearer, that's for sure. It's not going to help me at all. So now, let's reveal the short sword. Let's bury the mattock. Make sure we succeed at this check. Okay. And now to close this. Luckily, I didn't get anything super hard. Let's reveal the short sword. Let's have Harsk fire an arrow and just kind of see where we're at. 81. Not good enough. I gotta either bury a card or play a blessing. I guess I'll go ahead and play a blessing for another d12 and then guarantee I punch this thing to death. Okay, so we defeated a random monster. We closed the farmhouse. Now I definitely want to move out of here because now Amiri's kind of stuck in a bad place. I don't want to double up with Seela, unfortunately. I don't particularly want to attack the bridge because she doesn't have good dexterity. Yeah, this is a tough situation. I really want her to get to the waterfront is what I would like. The waterfront is equidistant no matter which of these 2 places I go to. If she goes here, then Seela will have to move away to the bridge. She's even worse at dexterity. Yeah, Amiri has at least a d6 for dexterity, so I'm going to have Amiri go there. Okay, Harsk is up. He's going to have to go in blind here, which is a little bit disconcerting. But, it's a blessing of Desna. Well, not the end of the world. We'll just fail it. Obviously, it would have been nice to get it, but it's fine. I'm okay with that. It's better than some things that could have happened alternatively. Let's go ahead and scout. It's a bandit henchman. Ooh, nice. Well, that's sort of good, sort of bad. It does mean that Amiri and Seela are not safe to explore here because they are not good at closing the location. But the flip side is that at least I know that, so I'm not going to stumble into it. All right, I'm going to think about this for a second. Before Kira moves, let's take a look at Sila's location. This place has a monster in it, and that's a problem, because if Kira goes here and finds the monster, then she and Sila will have to fight it, which is annoying. But if she doesn't go there, if she just goes to the woods, she's doing nothing. I guess it's the same. Well, it's not exactly the same choice Amiri had, because Amiri was moving at the end of her turn. Now, I've used both of my strides, right? Yeah, they're both recharged or discarded. So, if Kira wants to do anything, she's gonna have to move. You know what? I don't mind, Kira and Sila both fighting a monster. I think that is the lesser of two evils there. If the alternative is I just do nothing. Because I know it looks like I'm doing very well, but the problem is that these locations are very underexplored, and the villain could be at the bottom of them. If the villain and henchmen are clustered at the bottom, I'm actually going to have a tough time getting down to them. So that's why I need to make as much progress as I can. So hopefully I don't fight the monster. It's the monster. Ah, and it's a bad one too. Okay, I mean, it's happening. It sucks, but... So I'm going to discard my chainmail for Sila, which isn't the end of the world. And then she has to actually fight this bitch. I guess we'll just discard a longsword for this. 90%. Maybe that's a little bit loose of me. Especially because Harsk still has cards. She will be discarding nothing. Oh, wow. Hot 10. I'm going to just discard a mace. Because I don't want two maces. And now this is actually fine because I got the monster out of the way. Do I do a blessing? Can I fight a henchman? Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to just try to find the henchman. 50-50 chance of finding the henchman. I can definitely kill him. Got a soldier. Buggering, Dales. Well, shit. Yeah, it's not worth spending stuff to pick this guy up, so I'm just going to take my 25% chance of finding him. If I'd cast Strength on her, I guess I could have gotten it and then explored again to fight the henchman. Something to think about. Maybe that would have been the smart thing to do. Well, EZREN's up. He's got extra explore. He's got a force missile. He's got caltrops for defeating a bandit. So yeah, let's go. Let's get on it. I don't want to use the sage because I'd rather explore with the sage, but the codex is actually a good thing to use here because it increases my chances dramatically of getting the crow, and then I can discard the crow to explore again. Of course, I failed! So that doesn't matter at all. And I failed again to recharge. Codex, god damn, that was annoying. Alright, well, that's fine. I don't need the sage, so we're going to go ahead and use the sage to keep going. I'm going to use my force missile against this bunyip instead of using my caltrops. I like to use the caltrops to defeat the bandit henchman. 75% is not good enough, so Harsk needs to pitch in a little here with one of his 3 crossbows. And let's try to recharge the force missile. Nice. Okay, let's see what... Oh, what? Oh, there we go. It went away for a second. I was like, what? I can't use my thing. Oh, man, I cannot find a spell at the top of my deck to save my life. Well, that's that then. Alright, got a spell back. Good. Now, Sila. I guess I should scout this in case it's the villain. It's a henchman. Alright, why do I only have 3 cards? Well, it's not great that I only have 3 cards. Her hand size is 4. Kira doesn't have her cure. Sila's cure, she's gonna draw her cure. Can I defeat a bandit henchman and then another bandit henchman without needing to spend any cards at all? Let me see what happens. After this, they go here. Yeah. Oh, and Harsk is gonna close this place. So then everybody just needs to get to the waterfront. Let me take... Actually, I need to think about this. Hold on, because... Let's say Sila fights the henchman now and kills it. Then... she's gonna, on her next turn, go to the waterfront. And then after that, the scenario is gonna be over. She's only got 1 more turn after this. So she's not gonna, or sorry, she's gonna go to the wooden bridge. She's not gonna make it to the waterfront. She can't get here because of the movement restrictions. Now, did EZREN pick up stride? Nope. Did Siona get stride? Nope. So she's not gonna be able to get stridden over. This is where Amiri, by the way, would be pretty handy, because Amiri could have actually pulled her over here if we had that power feat. Unfortunately, you're 6 scenarios into this game before you get your first power feat. So she's never going to actually get over there. So the only reason I would do this is if for some reason I wanted to, like, get this bastard sword. Which, actually, I do. Although the problem is that what happens is after you defeat the henchman, it shuffles. They get shuffled back in, which is irritating because there's going to be a 50-50 chance that she gets the bastard sword, which is a nice improvement over the long sword, and a 50% chance she gets this useless wooden shield. So that's kind of annoying. I could just leave her here and temp close this place, and then I miss out on getting a bastard sword, but that's pretty much all I miss out on. I mean, a bastard sword would be nice, especially because Amiri has these short swords that I forgot to fucking change. Alright, well, let's see. If I do the henchman, I have to recharge the blessing, draw a replacement card, then I'll have to recharge that replacement card, and I basically can't use any of my resources. Only other people can help her. Well, Harsk's got some help. Sione's got a bunch of blessings. Alright, let's get it done then. Here we go. So recharge my blessing. There's Pallegina. Oh, that's actually really nice, getting an extra heal. Although this is going to get recharged away, unfortunately. So I'm going to do this. Harsk shoots a bow, an arrow. 92%. Is that good enough? Well, let's take a look at this. I need a 7 on these dice. My expected result is a 9. Is 11.5? No, it's not good enough. Someone has to throw a blessing down. Sione, you're helping out. There we go. Alright, now we're going to have to close this location. Unfortunately, Pallegina gets recharged away. I think the next card has to be the cure, doesn't it? Yep, there it is. So, now I could discard a card from the top to help myself. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Unfortunately, I should have probably timed it so that I had the blessing there. Because when you do that flip, if it's a blessing, it gets recharged instead of pitched. So I probably actually could have made it so that it was the blessing that got put on the bottom instead of getting lost forever. So they get shuffled. Now I can cure my own damn self for a decent amount. Let's recharge it. I will flip a card to improve my odds of recharging it. Yes, it was a blessing, so that was a free D6. And, well, I guess I'm not going to get this cure back, am I? Because I'm not going to have another turn. No, but I will. I'll have another turn, and then I'll draw back up to the beginning. Right, okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Kira is with Sela. Yeah, so I can do this. Pick Kira, and give Kira an extra card. Alright, Sione is... Oh, she's trapped. Shit. Buggering Dales. She can't do anything. Oh, yep. Wish I had another stride. My god, words I never thought I'd say. Also, why didn't I cast Strength on Sela? I've had this Strength card the whole game! And I never used it, even though there were multiple situations. I have 2 of them! Fuck, I had 2 Strengths. I could have used 1 to help that combat go much more smoothly. Fuck. Okay, well, so for Sione, I mean, I'm gonna discard this Codex, because I don't think it's that helpful anymore. And I got some more stuff that's probably not actually going to matter anymore either. Alright, Amiri does not want to fight this henchman, I don't think. God, I am tempted to. So she's got a D6 instead of a D10 for that Stealth 6 check. This is Constitution. She can't rage against it. I don't have any dexterity boosting buffs. So yeah, I would basically just be throwing 3d6 to get a 6, and if I fail, it's just awful. Alright then. I guess she's passing the turn. I will pitch this, I guess I'm gonna move here. But I'm gonna pitch this wooden shield because it's junk, and that's one of her starting cards I never changed. I guess we're gonna keep the Thieves' Tools. I don't need a long spear and a short sword, so we're gonna discard the short sword. It is putting her a little low, but I want to increase my odds of getting more blessings and stuff. Alright, so Harsk is up here. Gonna go ahead and recharge the blessing to get another blessing. Then we're gonna whip out the crossbow, flip open the Sage's Journal to figure out how to defeat these guys. And that's good enough. Oh my god, that was way too close. Whew, that would have been a disaster. So I'm hoping that the villain is in here. If the villain is here, then he will be scouted, and then I can just temp close the waterfront and kill him. However, if the villain is in the waterfront, that is much, much, much worse for me. Oh, he was in there. Okay, so I won my 50-50 coin flip. Have I ever actually closed the waterfront, like temp closed the waterfront while doing this? I'm not sure. Maybe I have. So now I need to temp close the waterfront, and I can kill Jubrail Visky. In fact, I can do that right now. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. It's a little bit suboptimal because Harsk is not helping with this check. But she can discard the mace. She can play a blessing. Amiri's got a blessing. Sioni's got a blessing. Seal's got a blessing. EZREN's got strength, which I'm going to remember to fucking use. Okay, can I actually cast this strength before the fight starts? Like, it didn't work in my last video. Let's see what happens. So we gotta temp close the waterfront. I guess I'll have EZREN do it, because he's not taking a -1 penalty per every die. I am not gonna use the caltrops here. Fine with just... But no! No, I didn't want to recharge that one. Fuck. Oh, God. Okay. I got 2 combat spells, which doesn't actually matter. Harsk can help, because Harsk is not at the same location. In fact, Harsk cannot use this crossbow, so we'll just throw it on to absolutely guarantee it. It's not absolutely guaranteed. They could have all rolled 1s, I guess, but close enough to guaranteed. Can I get a spell, please? Come on, come on, give me... Oh, come on. But this is magic, so I do get it. Oh, yes! Oh, it's totally irrelevant, but I don't care. That was awesome. I got to draw an item. God, that feels good. Okay, let's go ahead and recharge away the stuff that doesn't matter. And I believe we can get this to be a guaranteed kill. So we're gonna... Wow, I actually have a 60% chance. Oh, yeah, that's right, from strength. Can I double up on the strength now? Because I played one before combat and one during. Oh, fuck yes! Woo! Alright, I don't care about getting, like, the highest roll possible, because obviously this is the first scenario, so it's all going to be kind of pitiable. But, oh, hell, let's do it. So we're going to discard the mace. We got a blessing. And another blessing. And another blessing. I feel like DJ Khaled over here. And another one. Okay. Boom, look at all these fancy dice thrown around. Ba-bammo! And that's Brigandoom on Legendary with a fresh 6-player party. And I guess I did have a little bit of help from some, you know, some cards like that Obsidian Golem and Palagina and some other stuff. But that'll do it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and/or subscribe. And I'll see you again soon. Take care. It did mean that I didn't find that bastard sword. I guess I could have... Once Jubrail was found, I guess the optimal thing to do would have been to find that bastard sword and throw away one of Amiri's short swords, which are just painful to look at. God, I can't believe I forgot to make that change. So we get... Everybody gets an item. This is actually a really good pickup. Spyglass is fantastic. Most items are garbage, so finding the Spyglass is amazing. This thing is terrible junk. It will not be used. This thing is another Spyglass. All right, I cannot complain about my luck here. And a holy candle. Holy crap, handle. Damn, that's awesome. This is total garbage. And then we got our Bird Cruncher crown. Evade a goblin. Defeat a goblin. Recharge to examine your... It's kind of shitty. Sort of definitely kind of shitty. I might use it just for fun. I don't know. We'll take a look at what the deck's looking like afterwards here. I'm gonna turn on my computer fan. It's been a little bit chuggish. It's like it's kind of choppy, and I don't know if that's because I don't have my fan on or just it's just how that is. But anyway, let's go ahead and rebuild people's decks. So armor, we got this magic leather. Well, it doesn't really use light armor, so for thematic sake, we'll give it to the person who's actually an armor wielder. Although this doesn't actually make any sense because he can recharge his cards anyway. Oh god, wooden shield. Okay, never mind. That's got to be the top priority. Fucking wooden shield. All right, Spyglass. I think I'd rather have Thieves' Tools than a Spyglass for her. Let's give this to someone else. Like for example, oh, these I actually kind of like all these items. I like Thieves' Tools for her too. Shit, I got 2 Thieves' Tools and no place to put them. Oh man. All right, let's be real here. For Sioni, the Codex isn't that good. Holy Candle is tricky because obviously it can make a huge difference, but if it's not making a difference, it's just sitting in your deck not doing anything. But we'll think about that. Let's go ahead and give her a Spyglass. And I'll let her keep the acid arrow. That's fine. We'll get rid of a force missile. Strider's actually kind of handy, so I'm definitely glad to hold on to that. Here's junk, junk. Oh, these are both garbage items. Man, I just didn't... Did I fuck something up, guys? Did I just forget to manage Amiri's deck? What happened? Oh, I know what happened. I clicked the next... Amiri was the last character I put in, and I clicked the next button. And then did I just, like, forget to change her deck? I thought I was gonna change her deck afterwards. Like, I know I had that thought of, like, let's change her deck. But then I just didn't, I guess. Okay, whatever. Let's give her Spyglass and Thieves' Tools. And Harsk... Sage's Journal, I mean, it was nifty there. But I guess I'd rather have a Holy Candle. And then, yeah, nothing else is particularly great. Obviously, I'm not going to put the Flask of Shock. That would be a level 3 item. It'd be kind of cheating. Yeah, I like that Sage's Journal for the extra D4 early in the game. That's solid. But this thing just seems kind of fun. If you actually recharge the card after killing a goblin, and then you get a free weapon, item, or armor out of the location deck, which is sort of nifty. So if you ever scout a goblin, you can have Harsk come over and kill it, and then get a free explore out of this item. And it's kind of nifty. I might regret not having the Sage's Journal. I might regret having chosen the Holy Candle, but we'll see. So that's everything. Let's take a look at the view all. Make sure I'm not throwing away anything super good. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, it looks like it was mostly items that I was concerned about. So let's take a look at my item situation. I definitely like having Caltrops. The Codex for EZREN is good to help him pick up spells to get those extra explores. I like having Thieves' Tools on everybody. I definitely don't want to leave Thieves' Tools behind. Definitely don't want to leave Spyglasses behind. Yeah, I guess there's just no room for a Sage's Journal at this present time. And let me just say, it's so sweet with Sela having Thieves' Tools. Okay, now we're going to move on. Clear out some of this shit from the stash. I could actually keep a Potion of Glibness for a scenario where it matters. Potion of Hiding is junky, though. Wooden Shield's obviously terrible. I don't want to see that ever again. Don't need to keep a Force Missile in here. Invisibility, maybe I'd use sometime. I don't know. You know what? I'm not playing with my other party. I'm just going to throw away this Flask of Shock. I just really don't give a shit. And I don't care about this either. I'm just going to get rid of these loot cards because we'll find them in this game, and I'm not playing with my other parties. I'm not someone who's going to go back and like play with them again, so I'm sure I will be fine without these cards. So we'll just keep these because I might actually potentially decide that I want them later on, and we'll collect some extra gold. Alright folks, that'll do it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.